My dad was from Israel, and my mom came from Germany. They're both now Americans. Well, my dad is passed now, but they became American citizens in time to vote for Jack, and it meant everything to them. And when Bobby died was the very first time, and I think one of only 3 times that I ever saw my father cry in my entire life. The Kennedys have had a real impact on our family.
Wow, so that's a long way to come.
It is. I felt compelled. I felt really compelled. I think the spirit of the entire Kennedy plan in general to give so much to the public good was epitomized in Teddy, of all of them. First of all, by virtue of the fact that he lived longer than the rest of them did. He had more opportunity, but he also was really true to what was right, just what was right. It was important to be here to say goodbye in person, I felt.
I've never met him personally, but I think since I moved to the U.S., we've heard a lot about the Kennedys, and him being one of the ones who've lasted so long and he's done so much for the country. I feel really obliged that I should come and pay my last respect. We both worked late last night, that we thought it's important that we come and do this, if nothing else for self-fulfillment. So I think he's done a lot. We saw the nursing staff there with a big banner saying thank you, Ted, and I think it's just an appreciation of all what he did for healthcare. Being a nurse, I think we are in support of whatever can benefit healthcare, and that's why we are here today.
And he's touched so many people's lives. For the 47 years, you know, he's been in the Senate. You know, you hear nothing but good things about him. He never differentiated between the poor and the rich. And like I said, with immigrants, they were always free to meet him and tell him their problems. So I think everybody here today really, you know, have done the very best they could to come and see these guys. They're beating me.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Sierra Leone, but I'm a citizen now. From Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Yeah. And you a nurse in Lowell?
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
Where?
Right now I work for an agency called Fireside. I work, you know,
Fireside. Oh, sure, a nurse.
Fireside staffing.
The authorities had him in England from the plane, and so she called because she had no money to get him back from England to here because he had bipolar. And Ted Kennedy said, "I will take. Don't worry, I'll call you back." And he called back and he said he's on his way back to Boston.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, he did another thing. He was bipolar, and he made all these phone calls, like $1,000 worth of phone calls, and she had no money again. Her phone was going to be shut off. She called Ted Kennedy, and he said, "I'll call you back," and called her back and said, "Don't worry, it's taken care of." Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah. My husband's cousin told us that story a couple of years ago. He said, and those are the little things he did.
This is your husband's aunt?
Bonnie. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just everything meant a lot to him.
So even though you never met him, you feel like he was
part
of your family?
Like I said, yeah. The Kennedys, that's all you talked about, all his brothers, all of them. He was just an everyday name.